who may not believe it, all of that is authentic. All of that really does go on there. What I wanted to ask you was, why did you decide to open the film with the breakup scene?
Why I decided to open the scene with the breakup scene? I guess it was just part to set the tone of the film, so that we kind of know that it's something dramatic is going to happen later, or that, you know, like, because the film kind of starts out kind of funny and lighthearted otherwise, and which I like, but I also wanted to kind of set the tone of that. That's not really the film we're going to watch. Also, it was different. We introduced the John character sooner, so that was one way, and also then we see him on the TV screen at one point and stuff, just so that, because he comes in so late in the film, and I just want to make sure that we kind of, I guess, you know, the idea of introducing him sooner in little ways like that was just so that we get invested in, I guess, that love story, even though it comes in so late in the film.
Yeah.
By the way, the awards will take place at the closing party afterwards. I wanted to make that announcement. You have a question?
What was the most challenging part of the shoot?
The most challenging of shooting the film was shooting in LA, because I'm based in New York, and I shot all my other films in New York. And with this film, this is by the way, it's based on a novel called Going Down in La La Land by Andy Zephyr. So I like the idea. I mean, I like the idea of making this film because I had lived in LA 10 years ago as a struggling actor, and I recognize a lot of that life, not the porn side of it, things, but the struggling actor part. And so I really, I wanted to make the film, and I really felt like it has to be shot in LA. I couldn't shoot it anywhere else for it to make any sense. So the difficult thing about shooting a low-budget film in LA is that it's not a very film-friendly town for that.
Really?
Not at all, no. Because in New York we have tax breaks, we have free parking, we have cops come up for free if we need them, to block traffic and stuff. Free, shooting in the park, streets all free for free. And in LA, they charge a crazy permit fee for everything. And
so you did not do any like kamikaze shots where you just ran in, so that's some low-budget films will do, is shoot a scene and not tell anyone?
No, we did that one day. The scene when in the beginning of the film, Adam, played by Matthew Ludwinski, he's looking for work, and he goes in and out of these restaurants up on Sunset Boulevard. And I did that when I moved out there. I walked those very restaurants. And I was like, we have to shoot it there. So we didn't have permits to shoot that on Sunset Boulevard. It was going to be really impossible, really, to do. So we just put the camera in a van, and we just left the side door on the van open, and we drove very slowly. And he actually had to walk in and out of this restaurant, and he was so embarrassed, and so he's like, I said, just go in and pretend you're looking for someone and come back out, and so he did, and then the kind of worked. Let's do it again, and he's like, no, I'm not doing it again. He was so embarrassed.
Did anyone ask him what he was doing there?
I don't think so. I think he just kind of played it off. But that was one shot we stole. Otherwise, the driving around and shooting inside the car, we kind of stole those shots as well. We didn't have permits for that. But everything else we had permits for. But also in LA, you can't really get people to show up to be extras for nothing, or $20 like we do in New York. Because there's so many opportunities to do extra work there and get paid. So people wanted to get paid, and the other thing was parking. But we spent thousands of dollars on parking. And shooting up in the hills, we got these fantastic houses up in the hills from a friend of mine who let us, who had a lot of connections. We got these houses for free, but we couldn't get permits to park cars up there. So we had to park everyone downhill, get parking garages and stuff, and drivers and vans to ship, get all the extras up. I mean,
was it a huge crew that you were working with?
It was a pretty big crew, more than I'm used to. The good thing about shooting in LA was that we had great crew, great actors, of course, and because there's a lot of runaway production from there, also we were able to get a lot of equipment and stuff for much cheaper than we can get in New York. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I just seen that arm over there for a while.
We'll cast you as Nick, and what are the challenges and benefits of it?
I cast me. And I wrote the part. The part is based on two characters in the book, and I wrote him with myself in mind, because I thought it was a really, really great actor role. And so I wanted to play the role because of that. And the good things with that was, for me as an actor, it was great. For me as a director, it wasn't so great, because you know, it's always, of course, hard to. It takes more time acting and directing. You know, directing yourself, because you had to, you know, play back takes and watch stuff, and I can't pay as much attention always to the other actors as I would like as a director. So that was a little challenging at times.
Nick's transformation is really, you capture that really nicely, how dark he becomes.
Thank you so much. It's my third of my 6 films I made. It's my third time acting in one, and this was probably my most fun part. I'm also in Bloody Summer and Violet Tendencies that I played here last year, where I play a very nice, you know, good guy. This was more fun.
How long was your shoot?
19 days, and we shot it over 4 weeks, like 5-day work weeks.
Given that times are changing, would an actor like that still have a chance today to appear in regular films, or is that still too early?
Well, I think you had Brent Corrigan here, who was in my film, The Gay Musical, but he has got some parts. I mean, in gay films, I don't know if it's going to break over to mainstream big-time stuff or anything, but, you know, who knows? I think times definitely are changing, and I think there's some straight porn actresses who has broken over a bit. I don't really know.
People always want to know if the star is gay, because, you know, for a straight actor to do a gay love scene, we don't see many of that, you know. We haven't seen Tom Cruise do that, or Brad Pitt do that. Well, Tom Cruise, I don't know. So I can't speak to the character, but some folks were curious about that.
Well, the one thing I changed in the book was the ending. In the book, John doesn't come back, and I felt that I changed it for a couple of reasons. One being that it's such a Hollywood film. I think it was, you know, fun to give it a Hollywood ending, and also I thought in the book was based on the writers, some of his real experiences 10 years ago. I don't know if that part of the story necessarily was something that happened to him, but I also think that I also felt that it gives a very, you know, nice message in terms of I think today more and more we see openly gay actors in television, and hopefully also more in the film.
But it's also cool when a straight actor is willing to portray a gay role, particularly when it comes to just like kissing another man. I mean, that's still fairly unusual in today's Hollywood.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Other questions?
Casper, you're known more for your light-hearted films like Big Gay Musical and comedies like For Lower. What made you go darker this time?
Well, I did a pretty dark film before called Between Love and Goodbye that also played here. But and I like dramas a lot personally to watch. Some of my favorite films are dramas. And it's, you know, it's a lot of fun making a comedy, because, you know, you're having a lot of fun. And I guess this is more, you know, a dark comedy or a dramedy, and I really like the tone of this film in terms of mixing the comedy with the drama. So I guess it's just I don't want to just do, you know, sex comedy. So though there, you know, can be a lot of fun to make, I like to do different things. So definitely that was part of the reason why I wanted to make this film, because it was something a little different.
I love that it had a happy ending, quite honestly, but I'm curious what the author, if he's seen the film, and if he cares for how you adapted it.
Andy did see the film. We screened it at the Boston Gay and Lesbian Film Festival, and he came up and saw it there with me. And I think he's going to see it in New York. It's playing on Friday. So I think he had mixed feelings about any changes, because originally he asked me if we could write this screenplay together, and I knew that was going to be really hard, because I knew, you know, from the start, and I told him, look, I want to make changes, because because I loved a lot of things in the book, and but you know, you have to cut a lot of stuff out. You have to adapt it in various ways to make it a workable screenplay, and it's not easy to. I figure it would be really hard to do that with, because he would, you know, want to tell the story of the book, and which we are, but it's at the same time definitely some changes in there. So I think he read the script. He gave me feedback on the script, and he some things he didn't like, some things he was totally fine with. I think he preferred his original ending. I think when he saw it, he really liked it with this ending, but yeah, I should ask him that specifically. Do you hate the ending?
Other questions? I have one. Oh, you in the back. Sorry.
The relationship between all the actors in this definitely strong point in the film plot. What was your process of choosing the actors?
How I chose the actors. Well, actually, Alison Lane, who plays Candy, she came in on audition for me for a 4-letter word, and she was just blew us away. And she got the part of Trisha in that film, which is this lesbian kind of barracuda character. She's only in it very little, but she was so fun to work with, and she's been so supportive, and you know, we became good friends. And so when I read the book and decided to make it into a film, I already had her in mind and thinking that she would be absolutely perfect for this. And you know, we tried to get big name stars like, you know, I don't know, Christina Applegate or whatever, but we looked into getting big names, and they were not interested. So she was the first person I cast. And then Matthew Litwinski, I had known for a few years as well. He auditioned for one of the leads in my film Between Love and Goodbye, and then I gave him a small role in that film. And we auditioned actually a lot of actors for that role in LA as well, but all the hot, young, sexy actors who could, you know, portray the role, as I saw it, they all turned it down. They go, it's like, no, I mean, we didn't offer it to anyone, but they would just either, you know, we got submissions and then they wouldn't come to the audition, or they came to the audition and then we called them back and they wouldn't come back for the callback. Yeah, because it's definitely a part that scared people off, or their agents wouldn't let them do it, or managers. Because obviously, it's, you know, playing a porn star, and
it's those, there are gay love scenes, you know,
and the gay love scene,
you know, and if it's a young actor coming up, they might very well not want to have that be the movie they have their impact with.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not saying that everybody turned it down, because there certainly was a lot of people who wanted to do it, but I kept going back to Matthew and I kept auditioning him as well, and finally decided, you know, he's the best for the role, and he was very, very excited about playing the role, and he flew up from New York to do it. And so, and the good thing with casting Matthew was also, since I had to work with him before and we knew each other a little bit, since I had to have sex scenes with him. It helped. It just helped to have, you know, a little bit of history with the person, and not just cast someone, you know, okay, wow. You cast someone like on a Wednesday and on Friday, you know, okay, by the way, you're going to have a sex scene with me now. So that was good. And the other, Michael Medico, who plays John, he lived in LA. He came in just for our castings there, and I thought he was fantastic. And I think he did a really good job in terms of making us care for him, even though he's not in the film until really much later on the story. And pretty much everyone else too we cast in LA. Yeah.
One more question. You've done so many films recently. What are your plans for next year? What will you surprise us with next year?
I don't think I will have a film here next year. Actually, I think I'm taking a break from producing. If I'm looking to get hired, I was